Amongst the tall grown sugar cane lived a simple man and a Dominica hen and a rose of a different name.
Does that voice sound familiar? Do you recognize that beautiful face? I'm Gordon Collier, this is Music Makers, and today's guest is none other than the pride of Lorena, Texas, Kimberly Kelly. That's right, we're talking to Kimberly Kelly today from her home in Nashville, Tennessee. Kimberly, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
You know, I remember back in the day, I'm not going to tell you how many years ago, but I clearly remember the first time I heard you sing. Do you have any idea where that was?
No.
It was,
I don't.
get this, we're going way back, Moon River Ranch in Satin, Texas. You were doing a duo with
Nick
somebody.
Dennard.
Yeah, Nick
Yeah.
Dennard, yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was
Probably
Nick Dennard. That's right. You know, I remember, Kimberly, I remember thinking, man, this girl's got what it takes. She's got the looks. She's going to, man, and look at this. 20 years later, you're an overnight sensation. How's that happen?
Oh, definitely. 20 years later. Overnight.
Right. Well, hey, tell us what's going on, Kimberly. You moved to Nashville, signed a record deal. Fill in all those gaps.
I moved to Nashville, was singing harmony with my sister, writing songs, finally signed my own record deal, put out an album last year. I've been playing shows, made my Grand Ole Opry debut, and married a songwriter. Just, you know, living the dream, they say.
Well, introduce us to your husband, Brad.
This is Brett Tyler.
Hi,
He's from
Brett.
Minnesota. That's the only thing wrong with him.
Well, we won't hold that against him. I understand he had a song featured in the CMAs. Tell us about that, Brett.
Yeah, I wrote a song that Morgan Wallen recorded, and it's featuring Eric Church, called Man Made a Bar, and I got to watch them perform it at the CMA Awards, which was pretty awesome.
What was that like? Was that just surreal?
Yeah, it was, and the fun thing about it was I didn't go to the CMA Awards. So I grew up watching the CMA Awards sitting on my couch, which is where I got to watch it this time as well. But this time there was two artists singing a song that I wrote, which was pretty special. So. Wow,
that is amazing. Well, Kimberly, you spent a lot of time honing your craft in Central Texas. What was that like?
I'm just thankful that Texas, you know, has a lot of places where you can play. When you move up to Nashville, you think that it's going to be a lot like that. But up here, you know, there's just a lot of writers' rounds, songwriters playing. You can play downtown on Broadway, but I'm just really thankful that there's so many bars and honky tonks and dance halls in Texas. And then there's Texas radio. So you really... You know, you could do all this and never leave the state of Texas. So it's just a really great place to be from.
Yeah, well, you still have a lot of loyal fans in Central Texas. What does their support mean to you?
You know, there's times when I feel like, why am I still doing this? You know, what is making it? I feel like the end game changes all the time. And when I feel maybe like, I don't know why I'm doing it anymore, somebody who maybe was at one of my first shows a long time ago will message me and say, we're so proud of you, keep going. And I think, oh, they're not tired of seeing me make music and follow my dreams, so why should I give up on it? If somebody's got to do it. So it means a lot to have the support of all those people.
Well, they love you, Kimberly. I hear from them all the time. So, hey, what do you say we hear a song? And this is one I heard recently and kind of knocked my socks off. Summers Like That. Tell us about that.
Summers Like That is a song that it's kind of reminiscent of like Tim McGraw, the Taylor Swift song, or even Strawberry Wine. It's just about young love, and it name drops a lot of songs from the 90s, so it kind of felt like my childhood and teenage years, maybe young love. But even if you don't know those 90s country songs, there's just a love story in that song anyways.
I remember where I was the very first time when I heard Strawberry Wine. I remember where I was the very first time when I heard Strawberry Wine. I remember where I was the very first time when I heard Strawberry Wine. I remember where I was the very first time when I heard Strawberry Wine. I remember where I was the very first time when I heard Strawberry Wine. I remember where I was the very first time when I heard Strawberry Wine. I remember where I was the very first time when I heard Strawberry Wine. I remember where I was the very first time when I heard Strawberry Wine. I remember where I was the very first time when I heard Strawberry Wine. I remember where I was the very first time when I heard Strawberry Wine. I remember where I was the very first time when I heard Strawberry Wine. I remember where I was the very first time when I heard Strawberry Wine. I remember where I was the very first time when I heard Strawberry Wine. I remember where I was the very first time when I heard Strawberry Wine. I remember where I was the very first time when I heard Strawberry Wine. I remember where I 'twas the middle of the summer I turned 16. Could have sworn she was singing that song to me. I can still hear, maybe it was Memphis rolling through the speakers when I had my first kiss. Dancing barefoot in the yard neath the canopy of trees to the keeper of the stars. I still get carried away by the magic, by the moment. Never felt that way before. They don't make summers like that no more. Well, it crushed my heart when he had to go. My first taste of a walk away, Joe. You don't ever forget when it cuts that deep. First time you fall is so bittersweet. I can still hear dust on the bottle sitting on the hood of an '02 model Mustang, sipping on booze, catching my first buzz to a neon moon. I still get carried away by the magic, by the moment. Never felt that way before. They don't make summers like that no more. Oh, memory can hold on to you so strong. It seems like yesterday, but those days are gone, and time marches on. Time marches on. But I can still hear, maybe it was Memphis rolling through the speakers when I had my first kiss. Dancing barefoot in the yard neath the canopy of trees to the keeper of the stars. I still get carried away by the magic, by the moment. Never felt that way before. They don't make summers like that no more.
That was nicely done. That is just, you really made that song come to life. So
Thank you.
What's it like living with a musician like Brett there? Is it just a constant exchange of ideas, throwing lyrics around the breakfast table? What's that like?
You know, breakfast table.
Is there
It's
such a
not
thing
like
anymore?
He writes every day. He is a songwriter, and I'm an artist. I don't get up. My mom the other day was like, Brett's writing again. And then right as she said it, she said, well, I guess it's his job. So he's writing every day. So he'll come home sometimes and say, listen to this. And sometimes because I haven't been in the room with them all day long, I'm able to say, that part right there doesn't make sense. You should do this or that. And it kind of helps clarify. I don't get credit for any of that. It just kind of helps. And then I will say that he hums a lot. And I started noticing it maybe in the last year or two. And I thought, when you've been married to somebody, there's things that they start to do that, you notice. And I thought, he hums. But then I thought, you better not say nothing about him humming, because that humming could turn into a melody that turns into a song.
Yep.
So it's just like being married to somebody else. His job is just very unique.
One problem that I always have is this is why I'm never going to be a famous musician, is number one, I don't have the talent. Number two, every time I pick up the guitar, someone says, hey, could you not play that guitar right now? So does that happen in your household? Is there ever too much music?
He doesn't pick up the guitar as much as the humming, but then also he'll sit at his computer, because a lot of musicians, they'll build demos and tracks, and I'll hear the same lyric or same riff over and over and over. And I'm thinking, oh my God, if I hear that one more time.
It better be on the CMAs, right?
Yeah.
Well, hey, you mentioned the Grand Ole Opry, and you made your debut last year with Steve Wariner playing guitar. Wow. Tell us more about that.
You know, Brett and I wrote a song called Blue Jean Country Queen with Steve Wariner, and I had sang at the Opry with my sister and my friend Aaron, sang harmony, but I hadn't been there to sing myself. And so I was invited to do that last year, and Steve is an Opry member, and so he made himself available that night as well, and he came and played guitar on the song that the three of us wrote together.
Wow, that is really special. I noticed, Brett, you got your guitar, y'all ready to go. Let's hear Blue Jean Country Queen.
1, 2, 3, 4.
She rolls up to the Continental Club with a fair faucet smile. Parks on the sidewalk, fresh coat, a lip gloss, struts to the front of the line. Blows a kiss for the cover, makes a cover band stutter, a real life Barbie doll. Girls are all glaring, boys are all staring, that 1970s call. She's a blue jean country queen, a honky-tonk heart attack. Boots to her knees and fringe on her sleeves and horns on her Cadillac. Mama's prayer and daddy's nightmare, made for the neon lights. She's a blue jean country queen, looking for a king tonight. Ain't bought a beer since coming in here. The boys take care of that, 'cause they all wanna be the guy that gets to see the place where she hangs her hat. After long necking and a little two-stepping, she leaves them with a case of heartburn, 'cause she ain't met a cowboy yet that knows how to handle her. She's a blue jean country queen, a honky-tonk heart attack. Moves to her knees and fringe on her sleeves and horns on her Cadillac. Mama's prayer and daddy's nightmare, meant for the neon lights. She's a blue jean country queen, looking for a king tonight. A blue jean country queen, a honky-tonk heart attack. Boots to her knees and fringe on her sleeves and horns on her Cadillac. Mama's prayer and daddy's nightmare, made for the neon lights. She's a blue jean country queen, looking for a king tonight. Blue jean country queen, looking for a king tonight.
Wow, you guys would be so much fun to sit around a campfire with and swap some songs. Tell us more about your childhood, Lorena, growing up there. Was there a lot of music in your household growing up? How did you catch the bug?
Believe it or not really. My grandpa was a musician. My grandparents, he and my grandma, they owned a bar, a honky tonk, and my grandpa played all over Texas, recorded some music, Sterling Kelly and the Hearts. And he tried to make my dad and his brothers play, and they did a little bit, but they didn't go professional with it or anything. And my sister, she had always written poetry. And when we were in college, or I would say end of high school, is kind of when I said, "Hey, Mom, I think I can sing." I don't know. I was just really drawn to country music, and she said, "Okay, well, let me hear it." And I said, "Well, turn around backwards and close your eyes." And she was just like, "Oh my God, what do I do with this?" And then, long story short, went to McLennan Community College, I did all the music stuff there, and then I just started playing in Texas. And same thing with my sister. So.
Okay, I see how that led to this. Now,
Yeah.
picking out the right song, it can be just as important as writing the right song. And you wisely chose a song called Some Things Have a Name. I just love that song. Tell us about it.
Some Things Have a Name. When I heard it, it just felt very much like something that I would have written myself. It's very tongue-in-cheek, and the melody matched the lyrics, and then the music matched the message of the song, and it just felt very country. And so it was saying what needed to be said without just being obvious. It's a great country song.
It is. Let's listen to it. Some Things Have a Name. Here it is.
Call it what you want, some sort of cry for help or lapse inside your mind. Save it for a psychiatric PhD, boy, 'cause I ain't gonna bite. You know what you did, there's just one word for it. When you fall into her arms, darling, that's called cheating. And when I start walking out that door, baby, that's called leaving. When I close down the bar and let a friend drive my car, well, that's called drinking. If you're feeling what I'm feeling, that's called pain. Yeah, some things have a name. Let me know if I'm confusing you or moving just a little bit too fast. Goodbye to me don't mean I need a little space, and I might be coming back. No, when I'm gone, and you'll be all alone. 'Cause when you fall into her arms, darling, that's called cheating. And when I start walking out that door, baby, that's called leaving. When I close down the bar and let a friend drive my car, well, that's called drinking. If you're feeling what I'm feeling, that's called pain. Yeah, some things have a name. Yeah, when I close down the bar and let a friend drive my car, well, that's called drinking. If you're feeling what I'm feeling, that's called pain. Make no mistake, some things have a name.
Wow, you were right. You described that song perfectly. It says it all without saying it all. Yeah, kind of, yeah. Well, they say you can't go home again, but you were just in Central Texas visiting your family over the holidays. What's it like coming back to Lorena after being in the glitz of Nashville and all that good stuff?
It's like I feel like my shoulders drop as soon as I cross the state line, and it's just, yeah, it's home, so it feels like home. And I wish it were a little bit closer than 11 hours. We try to get there as quick as we can, but it always turns out to be 11 something hours. It's exactly what you need when you're up here, because you go home and really anywhere outside of Nashville. Nashville's such a bubble. It's so refreshing to go places and people have no idea who you're talking about as far as like people that he's written songs for, or it's just normal. So you get away from it. Kind of
resets your clock,
yes.
so to speak.
Get inspired.
Yeah, there you go.
Real life, real people.
There's a lot of real people in Central Texas, I will give you that.
Yes.
Well, Kimberly, we have time for one more. What's it going to be? I want to do another one live while Brett's sitting there with his guitar?
I'm going to do a song called First Fool in Line.
Okay.
I know I shouldn't love you from the way we said goodbye, and I know that there are others with tears for you still in their eyes. But if I thought that you were lonely, I wouldn't waste any time. I'd be the first fool in line. Funny thing about a memory, when it comes to love, it forgets about the bad times and remembers what it wants. So if ever you are lonely, for a heart whose love is blind, I'll be the first fool in line. Yeah, I'll fall back into your arms again, just as fast as the fool I was back then. I know I should know better. I know the hurt I'll find, but I'll be the first fool in line. Now I'll fall back into your arms again, just as fast as the fool I was back then. If ever you are looking for a heart whose love is blind, I'll be the first fool in line. Yeah, I'll be the first fool in line.
All right, Kimberly Kelly and Brett, thank you so much for stopping by. We've been trying to put this interview together for a long time, and I'm so glad it's finally happened. So tell us what's next for you. Where can we find your music, your shows? Tell us about it.
You can follow along with everything I'm doing at KimberlyKellyMusic.com. It has all the links to all my socials. I'm usually on there on all my socials pretty much daily. And I'm starting to record new music. So hopefully, maybe some of that will trickle it out towards the end of next year. You never want to say a certain time because you never know in the music business, but I am working on new stuff. And then in the meantime, Brett Sloan Man Made a Bar is getting played on the radio. So think about us when you hear that.
We will indeed. Again, thank you so much for coming in. It's always good to catch up with you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode. Go buy some Kimberly Kelly music. Support your hometown girl. Until next time, I'm Gordon Collier. This is Music Makers. I'll see you at the dance hall.